I've been to Teotihuacan in Mexico.
Yeah.
They're these Mexican pyramids.
Yes. My friend Luke Caverns has been there.
Okay, he's been there.
Yeah.
I'm
he's
not
been
expert
the
on
show a
this,
bunch.
keep in mind, but they discovered this shit. The Aztecs, I believe. The people who lived there discovered it from a previous group of people that lived there.
Yeah.
Okay, they showed up to this shit and it was there.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is ours now.
Mm-hmm.
Who built it?
Not them.
Not them.
Yeah.
I think some of this is we literally don't know who, or maybe it's some. The point being, a group of people showed up to this. It's more advanced than what they're capable of. We have no trace of who existed there prior to that, from my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, here's the civilization we just walked into.
Yep.
They live there like it's theirs. And then, people visit it as a tourist destination. But all of this technology, all of this innovation, seemingly out of thin air. We have no clue who did it. Just like the Egyptian pyramids, of course.
I mean, you're taking the words out of my mouth. Sure.
All of this shit's that's just there. It's for us. People showed up to it. We have no clue how it got there. I don't know where I'm going with this. We're talking about AI, technology.
Well, there's actually a thread I want to
an extinction event. These people have disappeared,
yeah.
basically, but left behind all this stuff that other people stumbled upon, claimed it as theirs, use it day to day. That's the idea I was going for.
Yeah. I actually just had Dr. David Kipping sitting there, and he's the head of Cool Worlds at Columbia, astrophysicist, genius guy, and really looks at things like from a sober perspective, which I like that. But he was like, dead seriously supports the idea of using the moon as a place for us to go like bury a pyramid or something like that for some future civilization a fucking gazillion years from now, because he was explaining why it could last the best on the moon and why we won't be around in general by the time they get here based on the mathematical probabilities of them, if he's looking at that civilization, to be able to get here. So he's like, you would do it with a pyramid. So like Earth is a terrible place to put a pyramid, but maybe they didn't do it that long ago in relation to the galaxy. I don't fucking know.
The Egyptians claim that shit like it's their own. They definitely didn't do it.
I think I'm with you. I don't know how the fuck they got those stones there, bro.
They can't explain the engineering. They can't explain how they got the stones up. None of it's explainable.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Someone else did it.
I'm with you.
No, I'm pretty sure this is a fact that the Egyptians showed up to the pyramids. Actually, this is definitely disputed.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they claim otherwise, but
they shouldn't, though. They want the tourist money, of course. By the way, that place is full of scammers.
Oh, in Egypt?
My God, bro.
Really?
Yes. All sorts of hustlers trying to finagle you out of a couple bucks.
I mean, I've seen you do it in Rome, Barcelona, and all. I haven't seen the one in Egypt.
I have not filmed in Egypt. I've been to Egypt.
Why.
Just to look at the pyramids and confirm it was not, in fact, made by Egyptians and then leave, which offended many people.
Well, listen.
Unsurprisingly.
That's okay.
But we know they didn't do it.
We
so
know
cool.
they didn't do it. I'm very comfortable with that as well.
Okay, good.
The scammer videos, though, by the way, I loved it. I lived in Rome when I was in college, so I knew exactly the people you were looking at there and what they do. Now, you were filming like by the Colosseum.
By the Colosseum.
With a lot of that. Did you go to like Trastevere where the pickpockets are and everything?
Yes. Did not find any pickpockets.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, those motherfuckers
Actually, I'm trying to think.
Good.
No, okay, we did. We found some female pickpockets in the subway station.
Oh,
pregnant pickpockets. That's the meta now. That's the newest update.
Oh, wow.
Get pregnant, be a woman. You're unlikely to get attacked by someone you rob.
Yeah, but like if you bump into someone, you might bump the baby. You know, like that's a part of a pickpocket. You got to bump.
I agree.
It's a big risk.
I'm with you, man. Yeah. But the guys impregnating these women don't give a fuck. Get a couple of these girls pregnant, throw them on the streets, have them steal some shit. No one's going to hit them.
Yeah.
It's good business.
Yeah, you got in some fights out there, too. Like and the cops weren't coming to
I've
help
never
you?
thrown a punch.
Really?
I've never thrown a punch.
I'm actually shocked.
I've thrown a push here and there, pushed a guy once. Never thrown a punch, though.
In your life?
I got chased, honestly, in a real fight, no.
Wow.
Never been punched in the face either.
Good for you.
Knock on wood.
Go to India a couple more times. I feel like it's coming.
I'll fight an Indian. I feel pretty confident with my odds, although I did see some mega chads in the village. Some big, strong dudes. I was impressed. You guys are chads.
Yeah, dude. There's some strong Indians, for sure.
My beef with these scammers, Julian, is that these people show up to foreign lands, prey upon the kindness of tourists and locals, try to emotionally manipulate you. They have families overseas. They add no value to the economy in any meaningful way. And when they don't get what they want, sometimes they get violent. They see a camera, sometimes they just fucking attack you.
I agree.
Those people deserve to get humbled.
I think it's I love the exposing it because I thought it was like one of the lowest things ever. You know,
low hanging fruit.
Oh
right?
yeah, and the people in Rome fucking hated it more than anyone. It was like this, you know. It is the definition of taking complete advantage of the situation, for sure.
Which is funny, right? These are the ones we can kind of go after. You know, one of these guys gets beaten down by a bodyguard posse, let's say, of mine. But, you know, the bankers printing imaginary money, destroying civilization.
Can't go after
Can't touch those guys.
Can't talk to them.
Yet.
They got power.
They got power. We'll get sniped. We'll die. Untouchable. But yeah, scammers are bad people as well.
Do you think that
scammers are different degrees, right?
I look at the internet like this, right? So internet 2.0 is essentially social media, right? And you could argue the 3.0 thing, I haven't even like looked at how they're defining that, but I would imagine it's metaverse AI, right? Whatever, the combination. But internet 2.0 is still very much here in that it's the social media era. So if you discount MySpace for a second and look at Facebook as like the real dawn of that, you're thinking 06, 07 is when it really went mainstream. Okay. We are at the end of 2025. That means that regardless of whether or not it's your 85-year-old grandma using Facebook or your 20-year-old cousin using it, everyone's the same age in the internet. You see what I'm saying? They've all been using it for 20 years.
This is true.
So the tool, we are in college right now as far as maturity goes with how to deal with a tool like this. And I would even argue it's probably less than that because it didn't become like a mainstream, like actually affecting how people talk with each other thing until probably deeper into Obama's presidency. So we're talking over the last 10, 15 years is when it really exploded. So do you think that because now we're starting to get farther along with it, the whole like powerful people being able to hide behind their powerful seats and, you know, murk anyone that they don't like who gets in their way is now not going to be possible with the Tyler Oliveiras of the world running around to fucking 10 million subscribers and saying, hey, guys, look at this.
This is an interesting question because I do think the technocratic elite, the guys who own these social media platforms at the end of the day, as we saw in COVID, absolutely have a say in what's allowed to be discussed and own and control the algorithms and can pull levers and push levers and present to the world what they want to be seen. You'll remember in COVID, you could not mention COVID on YouTube.
Right.
That was unspeakable.
Unspeakable.
Take a guy like Sneeko, for example. He was taken off of YouTube for COVID misinformation.
Yes.
Allegedly. But I'm pretty sure he was literally right about everything he brought up at the time. I could be wrong on this. I don't know the exact nature of his case.
He was probably more right
I'm
than
pretty
wrong.
sure he was right about everything that was presented, and he was taken off the platform. He's been brought back since. So we've seen an example of blatant censorship, blatant information manipulation, and they got away with it. Yeah, sorry. We were wrong.
Yes.
Uncensored. You're good to talk about it now, a couple years later. So you just do that with anything. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Pick your topic, right?
I'm sitting here with someone who is one of the few people in the world who went to Epstein Island not to do...
And did not molest children.
Right. Yeah, to do the thing.
Yes.
You know, to actually investigate it.
Correct.
How the fuck did you get on that thing again?
We rented jet skis in the Virgin Islands. Pulled up there.
I just picture you in a room pitching this. It's the movie Hitch, but Epstein Island.
So what's crazy about this, Julian, is that you're not that far from the main island. Little St. James is not too far away from where everyone else lives on the Virgin Islands. This is the Virgin Islands, right?
Yeah, it sounds right, yeah.
That's fucked up. The naming is truly fucked. This world is fucked, man. Oh my God, if you were brought to these islands... That was taken from you, though, because this is a sick, sick place run by sick, evil people. The point I'm trying to present, though, is that you can see the island. There were several people chilling in boats not too far from the island with the temple, with all the Epstein shit.
Scary.
You can see it.
Yeah.
So if there was some evil shit going down there, you got to wonder how many people saw it, or if it's happening inside the island, beneath the building itself, or inside, you know, covertly inside these buildings.
How big is that one building? The temple.
Not that big.
Approximately.
Maybe,
I was going to say.
Maybe your apartment.
Yeah.
But the island's pretty big.
Right.
You got to run around there. The security guards are operating in golf carts. It's pretty expansive. It's not huge, but...
When was this? 2022?
2023?
2023.
And at that time, it had passed ownership to another billionaire.
Yeah. Who was it, an Australian guy that bought it?
You're probably right.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't know.
A Goldman guy. You've been to the house on 71st, right?
No.
Really? No. I'll take you there sometime.
Yeah?
I take people all the time.
What is it?
It's 9 East 71st Street. So if you're looking at this picture right here, it's like right over here. But a Goldman Sachs guy bought that and did a physical and spiritual remodeling of it.
That's kind of what they did with Epstein, apparently.
Yeah.
Or Epstein's Island.
Yeah.
They sold it to another billionaire. It has security on there still, as of the time I went. And I think they're turning it into a museum or something dark now.
Oh, there was something fucked up. Can we Google that, Deef? What are they turning Epstein Island into? It's like a resort.
Yeah, which is fucked.
Yeah.
Which is some weird tourist activity right there. If you're showing up for that.
No, this is where you do a nuclear test. Like, this is the
spot.
spot.
Yeah, I agree. It's like
All right, so the buyer is Stephen Dekoff, founder of the private equity firm Black Diamond Capital Management.
Oh, great.
Acquired the island for $60 million in May 2023.
At the Virgin Islands, yeah, okay.
Yep, in the U.S. Virgin Islands. He wants to purge the land of its grim past with SD Investments, where they plan to develop a world-class 5-star luxury 25-room resort.
Come on, man. People are fucked, man.
Steven.
Who would want to buy that? You got all the money in the world. You want to go buy Jeffrey Epstein's island?
I would never. I mean, I never would have in the first place because I don't know what I wouldn't want. Even if I had all the money in the world, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I would want to do with an island. I like being around people, but like,
I agree
especially
with you, by the way.
after this, who the fuck wants to buy an island anywhere? Like, also, I say this one all the time. I've never been on a private jet. Have no plans to. I don't know whose fucking jet I'm getting on.
I've never been on one either.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like now, I will sit in commercial if I get invited on a private jet. Fuck it, I'll take American Airlines. No problem.
That'd be great.
But I'm like, whose jet are you getting on sometimes?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are people who got on his jet and they're like, who the fuck was this guy?
Diddy fled on his jet too, I think.
Well, that would be someone who got on there and probably partook in the activities.
Probably so.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of guilty people that did it.
Speaking of partaking in Epstein activities, did you hear about Trump holding Bill Clinton's cock? Allegedly.
Yeah, what was my text exchange with Danny Jones?
I don't know if that's real. I think it is. I've been on the road driving to meet you here in beautiful, I can say Hoboken.
Yes.
It's not top secret. All right.
Yes. What did Danny Jones say to me? He was fucking
This is weird, man.
He just sent me a bunch of texts. He's like, "You think Bill was tapping it on the tongue?" And then he's like, "Do you think there was eye contact?" I'm like, "Danny Jones, I do not want to talk about this right now."
That's a crazy way to put it.
Yeah, listen, eye contact and tongue tapping's crazy, but what was it? It was Mark Epstein, his brother, who allegedly didn't talk with Jeffrey much. We're finding out that's not true.
Yeah.
But like he's on an email chain with Jeffrey, and I want to say like March 2018, they're going back and forth about Trump, and he mentioned something offhand about Putin having pictures of Trump blowing Bubba, and
Bubba's allegedly
was Clinton's nickname, and that is like kind of confirmed. Now, are they bullshitting there to fuck around, or like?
That's a bold claim, right? To just throw out there without. I don't know how you go about verifying that without video. Unfortunately, we're in the AI times, right? We can't even trust videos anymore.
You can't.
But that's a crazy headline. Donald Trump blowing Bubba message and Epstein emails. So it's like, when you're a kid. I live in the greatest country in the world. America's awesome, which it is. And then you get a little older and you're like, damn, we're ruled by a bunch of old pedophiles. Like, what the fuck's going on here? And I don't know the exact nature of Trump's relationship with the Epstein stuff. There's something there, right? There's something.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but there's...
that was actually...
And where are the files, by the way?
I mean,
That's crazy.
That's a separate question. That's equally and actually more important. But I had always defended some aspects of Trump with relation to this because of some of the things that like Brad Edwards, the lawyer for a lot of the victims, had said about his help.
Yeah.
Because of the falling out he did have that's on record with Jeffrey Epstein, though the reason for that is disputed.
I see.
That said, there's a woman named Maria Farmer. You ever see her? She was a victim. Okay. So You remember the Netflix documentary like 5 years ago?
Yes, I watched that.
Okay. Remember the woman who painted the mural of all the lizard people?
Okay.
That's Maria Farmer.
Whoa.
So her
I know the woman who died by suicide recently, Virginia
Robert Schufrat.
And she got in a major car accident right before that too.
Yes.
A few near-death experiences, and then she killed herself, even though she said she would never kill herself.
Now, it looks awful.
It's fucked
and
up.
that's where my thought went. I do have to at least say this because this did get ignored. She may very well.
Yeah, I'm not
it may
an
be
expert on
dirty, and she may have committed suicide.
Sure.
That said, Tara Palmieri, who's a reporter who was good friends with Virginia Robert Schufrat and did some serious podcasts with her back in the day, investigative, going to these people's doors and shit.
Respect, yeah.
Virginia had confided in her towards the end of her life that her husband beat the shit out of her.
Got it.
And there were pictures of it. Tara, as a friend, kept that in confidence. And then once after a month after Virginia's death, the family of Virginia was releasing some pictures. So Tara then came out and said, and this didn't get a lot of attention, but she said on Twitter, she said, okay, seeing as Virginia is dead and her family has now released some pictures, including ones where she was beat the shit out of. She's like, I do feel like I can say this now. I had kept this in confidence, but her husband did beat the shit out of her, and that needs to be talked about. Like,
yeah, that's
it's
fair.
possible.
If that's real, that's fucked up, and that's
however,
a shitty life. Yeah,
there are a lot of people that I can't say have husbands that beat the shit out of them who conveniently die.
We're never going to be able to prove what's real or fake. The Epstein stuff is crazy though, because if you remember, they gave the folders to some notable like Twitter journalists. Libs of TikTok infamously has a photo of her smiling.
God. Yeah,
she's cheese ear to ear.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
The binders is fucked up. Yeah,
the binder. Yeah, smiling. Here we have all the victims' information. Jeez, and then it never came out, from my understanding, and we still have no clue what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump, I think, called it a Democrat hoax.
I do have to say this because I call it every which way. I take my job seriously when it comes to like the journalism aspect of like just what are the facts, what can we see? First of all, they're hiding a lot of facts from us, so there's shit we can't see. But
and they claim it's for our own interests, right?
Oh God, his behavior since April of this year, as it pertains to the Epstein files.
Sure.
I don't know that there's a high-powered defense attorney in America who, if you asked him off record about guilty behavior, would not say, there's your example right there. Him calling it a Democratic hoax, he just turned on Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I saw that.
Marjorie Taylor Greene used to wear her fucking mask when they were forced to do that to Congress with his name on her mouth.
Sure.
You know, like...
Oh, did Tommy G interview her? He had some pretty interesting interviews with some political figures.
No, it was with Nancy Mace.
Okay.
He interviewed Nancy Mace, who actually did, I believe she was one of the people who voted to release it, by the way. I haven't heard about blowback on her
Which
yet,
is a very
but
easy, shouldn't be a partisan issue to vote on, right? Just release the files.
Agreed. Now,
why would we not benefit from understanding what went down there, right? Clear the air if there's nothing there.
It's because, I mean, the obvious point is because of all the intel implications, and they're fucking knee deep in it, and it's not just our country.
Sure. And then there's the Mossad relationships.
100%.
Did you know that some of the textbooks you and I both probably grew up on were owned by Ghislaine Maxwell's father?
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
He owned Macmillan and all that, yeah.
How deep does it go?
He also was one of the people that was like involved in like creating some of the peer review process, I believe, but we got to double check that.
He's a scholar now too.
Yeah, I've done a lot of work on Maxwell. He's an interesting cat. Do you know that motherfucker?
Sure.
He grew up in the middle of Europe speaking nothing but maybe it was Czech and Yiddish, maybe, whatever the languages were. He left at 17. Didn't speak a word of English. 17 years old, goes to Britain, and like he was a terrible guy, but this is like an unbelievable talent he pulled off. Within a couple years, not only did he speak English without an accent of any kind, which is unheard of.
Okay.
He spoke the king's English, so he spoke like the royals, where he'd be like yes, which is like it's extremely difficult, literal physical mouth movements from someone who doesn't speak English.
Sure.
And then he was a spy for the rest of his life and like a very fucked up person, but like the level of talent as a fucking spooky individual, if you will, that he had is pretty unreal.
Yeah, so, you've got to have incredible code shifting abilities.
Oh,
I'm sure.
Yeah. Unreal.
And speaking of, I guess, pedophile rabbit holes and allegations, are you familiar with the New York tunnels, the Jewish tunnels beneath the synagogue?
Alessi, my head of content, who used to be the producer right here as well, he actually went and investigated that and went into the tunnels.
Did he get in?
Yeah.
He got in?
Yeah.
Any findings?
He actually was kind of disappointed.
Okay, so I went there. I was in New York when it all broke, and it was all sealed off. No one could enter. And the Hasidic Jews I spoke to were telling me, like, oh, it's nothing.
Yeah.
And then that kind of got memory hold, and no one ever talked about it again.
It was
they sealed it with cement.
I'm
they
unfamiliar.
filled the shit. The tunnels are gone, from my understanding.
Are they gone? That's interesting.
From my understanding, well, you remember the beginning of this too, though, right? Was the guy who said he heard, I think, people speaking Yiddish beneath his house?
Oh, that was one of the best tweets of all time.
Isn't that crazy?
He sends a tweet out like 8 months before, and he goes, guys, I'm not a racist. Please just hear me out. I swear to God, there are Jews below my basement. People are like, you racist piece of shit, whatever. And then it comes out and he retweets it, and they're like, I'm sorry.
And they said it was for something innocuous. I mean, I don't know what you would need the tunnels for, but what does it say? A group of yeshiva students
I wonder if we
attempted
could
to protect. I'm pretty sure they filled it up, though, and it's no longer... Whatever hole was there is inaccessible.
Can you pull up, Deef, can you pull up Alessi's channel and type in Alessi Alaman?
Props to that guy if he was in there. That's crazy work.
Brooklyn tunnels. He's not going to answer right now, but I would love it because he actually like went in them, I think.
And his name is Alessi. Yeah. He's Jewish. He's from New York?
No.
Oh,
no, Alessi Alaman. He's a Cuban.
Oh, he's a Cuban.
He's Cuban, Norwegian, Black, Chinese.
Wow.
And one other thing's in there.
Okay, so he's not like a Hasidic Jew who's like, "Hey guys, there's nothing here." Okay,
no.
That gives him more credit.
No, he's like he's like a big God guy, like a Jesus guy.
Got it. Okay, got it. So he was concerned.
Yeah, do we got it? It was an old one. Go all the way down.
Interesting.
It was one of the first ones he did, where he goes. Oh, it should be like you just passed it. Go down. It should be right in there. Is that the one with the tunnel? See him talking to the.
No, it's asking who they're voting for.
Damn it. Yeah, he did one, and he went. He didn't answer. I tried to FaceTime him, but
sure.
Yeah, it was weird.
It's unusual,
the
right?
whole thing was unusual.
The nature of how they presented the information of why it existed in the first place, the speed at which it was filled.
Yeah.
I was there actually for a different video where I hung out with some Hasidic Jews.
Doing
while
what?
I was filming.
Real estate?
Say that one more time.
Were you doing real estate with them or what? I mean, that's what they do.
That's hilarious. I don't know what it was. I think I was just hanging out inside one of their big synagogues, just vibing with them, asking them questions. And I was walking on the street, just chilling, talking to my guy. He's like a cultural guide, like a guy who you'd hire to learn about the Hasidic Jews for the day. I'm like, hey, man, we want to do this video. Can you tell us about what it means to be a Hasidic Jew? And then we went to Dearborn. So we juxtaposed the two locations. This is during the beginning of, I guess, American rhetoric surrounding Gaza and Israel. And I was like,
what a juxtaposition.
So we had both of them, Dearborn and Williamsburg?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, in the same video. And I'm walking on the street. By the way, these guys gifted me one of the hats.
Oh, the big block ones.
I have one. Yeah, he gifted me one.
Yeah, they're kind of baller.
They're crazy hats. Yeah. It's like a super premium hat. I was like, whoa. Not a kippah. Not a kippah.
Right, no. You're talking about like the block, like, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
He gifted me one of those hats, one of the entrepreneurs who sells these hats. But I was walking on the street with my guide. A guy comes up to me. He says he's the public relations officer of the synagogue, and he's just checking in to ask me what I'm doing with the camera. They got like secret police out there. This guy ran up to me. He's like, what are you doing with the camera? What's the narrative? You know, I'll give him benefit of the doubt. He's like, oh, there's, of course, you can imagine what he said. Just take a guess.
A lot of anti-Semitism.
Bingo! Yep. Yeah. That exact term he said. There's a lot of anti-Semitism lately. Just making sure what you're doing. I'm like, well, thanks for checking in, man. But I'm an American. We're doing some documentary work here. I'm going to walk around and do whatever I want. But, thanks.
Right.
I show up the next day to the synagogue again with my guy. The guy runs out of the synagogue and he finds me again. The same guy is making sure the optics look good. And that I did not like. I did not like the nature of the influence he tried to have over what I believe to be fair and unbiased coverage of whatever we're talking about. Also pedophiles. Bohemian Grove. So I snuck into Bohemian Grove, obviously after Alex Jones. I ran in there. Tried to get as much footage as possible.
While they were having dinner and shit in front of the owl?
Not during the actual celebration itself. I just wanted to get as much coverage of the property. Shined my flashlight, got chased by a dude, and a little chihuahua chased me out of there.
A chihuahua?
A chihuahua. I thought it was a pit bull or something. It was a cute little chihuahua.
Did you hit it? Or?
Just chased me down, and I jumped over the fence and dipped
What
out of there.
the fuck is a chihuahua going to do to you?
I don't know. So I went to this. This is kind of an interesting point, too. I'm trying to tie it into the idea of if we know of a place that's supposed to be notorious or infamous for all these evil acts, my question is if a guy like me can run in there with the camera, run out without getting sued, without getting shot, without disappearing, it begs the question of, just like Area 51, if we know about it, we know all these secrets exist, if it's all a psyop, and if we're being misdirected, a red herring, we're focusing our attention on the wrong things. And by the time we know about it, it's all long and gone, just like Epstein's Island, and it's no longer relevant to the conversation.
That's a very valid
Interesting,
question.
right?
It's a very valid question.
So we're talking about stuff 30 years too late, almost.
Yeah.
The damage is done. The children's lives have been ruined. In
Yes.
the case of Epstein's Island, for example. The politicians have already been compromised. And let's say Trump is involved in some meaningful way that we should absolutely be aware of.
Yeah.
That would be good to know if he's compromised by Mossad intelligence,
It would
right?
be very good to know
It'd be
that.
good information.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be good to know in 2016 as well, right? That would be very pertinent information for a voter.
Of course.
In 2016.
Of course. The world that I know, let me back that up for a second. The world that has best been painted to me in the broadest of way, that has really changed in my view in doing my job and talking with some different people, including people that came from the espionage parts of government or people from the high level military, whatever, is that our entire existence, not America, everybody around the world, is just an on-the-ground casualty of underground little fucking fights and disagreements that espionage organizations have. And that is, I'm not saying I know that that's definitely how the world's run. But if I had to bet, most of it, rather than it just being one bad guy, right? Klaus Schwab or the WEF or something. Sure. These clearly scumbag elitist organizations. What's the other one? The Bilderberg Group. They all exist. Yeah. They all do awful.
The fact we know their names, though, leads me to believe there's 30 more we don't know.
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They all do awful shit. No doubt about it.
Soros.
But they're all probably some useful idiot in some ways, maybe themselves, above the ground from people that are well, if I do this, I'm going to save 5 million American lives and only 2 million people will die. So that's a win. That's how they think.
Sure.
And so when you look at the worst things, which is using sex trafficking for espionage, which unfortunately a lot
to save the planet. Yeah. That's their justification. Sure.
Guess what? We've done it too, in all likelihood, which makes me sick. It's somewhere in some room, probably not even smoky filled in the modern day where they don't fucking rip bogues in the office. They went, all right, if we do this, how many lives do we save? All right, it's good trade. Let's do it.
Sure.
That's wild.
And if you view each and every life as one-to-one in this egalitarian, human worldview that we're all equal, then that's a great trade-off, right? That's how they view the world,
That's
probably.
how they view the world.
Fuck up some lives to save the many or whatever.
Yep.
It's like the... look up Mormons' disproportionate representation in the CIA.
Oh, yeah,
so that's interesting, right?
Yeah,
you have these guys who are a bunch of Mormons in the three-letter agency. They have access to all this information, and...
they want to know where the magic tablets are. That's why they go.
So you've had a lot of Mormons on this in this table, right?
I think I've only had one. Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
Yeah.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. Mormon GOAT.
Does he care about the tablets?
We had an interesting conversation about it.
What was his take on it? I've never asked the guy about it.
That was back in episode 214.
A lot of episodes.
I don't remember what specifically we talked about with the tablets, but I think he believed that Joseph Smith was like Jesus's cousin or
we don't
whatever.
have to involve him this deeply.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Great guy.
No. He's a Mormon. So
I'm curious if there's a cultural Mormon and then a religious Mormon, right? Like almost like I'm ethnically Jewish. Then there's like a Hasidic Jew, right? I think a lot of these people they go to temple,
right?
Let's say when they need to, but they're largely culturally Mormon.
Okay,
they follow the rules, but I'm Mormon.
Not like 1850s though.
I don't think so. I think that's a lot of. Yeah, have you been to Utah?
No, but I'm supposed to go. I saw American Primeval though. I saw American Primeval. You see that show?
No.
Oh my God, bro!
What is that?
The Mormons were fucking lit in the 1800s.
You know about soaking?
No, I'm not talking about that shit. They were fucking killing a lot of people out there.
They got that cowboy spirit to them. Mm-hmm. What does it say about the CIA, real quick? Is this conspiratorial?
So it says the perception of disproportionate. Now this is from Google AI.
I don't even trust Google AI.
Disproportionate representation of Mormons in the CIA stems from the cultural traits that align with agency needs, such as foreign language ability, discipline,
makes sense.
And respect for authority developed through missionary service. While the church denies any connection with the CIA, the presence of former missionaries at Brigham Young University graduates of the CIA and FBI has been noted and interpreted in different ways by those within the community and outside observers. There you go.
Yeah, okay, maybe it's all bullshit. That seems interesting, though. The idea that they get sent on their mission, learn a foreign language, some foreign language, come back.
Nick talked all about that. Like he went and he went down. I think it was like to Chile,
somewhere in South America. That's why he has great Spanish skills.
Yeah, learned Spanish inside and out. Learned a different culture, and I know that helps him do his job well now.
100%
for sure.
He's out there speaking fluent Spanish.
Yeah,
interesting people, right?
Very interesting. Very, very. I'm gonna when I go to Utah. I'm probably only gonna
very
be there
nice
for
people,
a couple days, but
yeah.
I kind of want to get like a vibe check, because like that's the other
vibes
thing.
Will be good. You'll be accepted
When you talk about some things, and it happens all the time because the world's a big place, but you can kind of like overgeneralize some stuff, and it's like, well, you kind of got to go there to know.
Sure.
And I got to check myself on some stuff I talk about that for sure, but that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think travel will do you good. Yeah. I don't know how much you travel. I know you do a lot of podcasting.
I haven't in the past 5-6 years. I've been lucky to travel a lot around Europe and see that, and
it's good to see the vibes shift.
Yeah,
you get a little litmus test on the vibes.
Yes,
like going to New York City, for instance, is always interesting to me. Whenever I show up, I'm like, how fucked up is New York? Every time I show up, I'm like, what's going on in New York? There's not a bigger point to that. I'm just like, I'm always curious to see what's changed in New York.
What's really sad is that if you know New York like I do, Bill de Blasio was the worst mayor in the history of fucking mayors. Oh my God, he was a disaster. He didn't believe
I don't know much about de Blasio.
He didn't believe in basic tenets of rule of law. He did, he was a fucking moron to start with. But then he was in charge during COVID, and you remember the whole like flying airplanes with the French fry to get people to take the vaccine and all that.
A lot of incentives to take the vaccine.
Bro.
Yeah.
So I left, went to my parents' house March 31st, 2020. My last time in New York was shortly before that. The next time I came was January 20th or 21st, 2021. This is 2 weeks after Adams takes office, so he's not even in there yet. And I was legitimately like, holy shit, like this place is destroyed.
Oh, you felt a noticeable shift.
Oh, dude, it was the first time where I was like, yo, I don't know if we can come back from this. It was crazy. But here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Adams, regular kind of
like OG gangster type, right? He was pushing drugs back in the day in his youth or something like that.
I don't know about that, but maybe.
I think he said he's a former drug dealer in his youth or something.
But he had been a cop or something later and all that. Adams really fucking cleaned that place up over 4 years. And I always said this about Adams. I said, don't listen to what he says. He'll fucking come out and say the right thing. He'll talk about, when the Giants are playing the Eagles, if the Giants win, he'll send vegan chicken to the mayor of Philly. But he would say all these crazy
he's a funny
shit.
guy. Funny guy.
But then you'd watch what he did, and he was kind of like old school, let's clean some shit up. Sure. And the city got better and better and better. There was one huge exception, though, and I know you know all about this. It was the fucking immigrant buses coming in and filling up the hotels.
They're sending them, a lot of them from Texas.
And
Where I
I
live.
fully understand. I fully understand
Sure.
why Florida and Texas were doing that. It's like, oh, well, you guys want to talk about sanctuary cities and tell us to have open
Sure.
borders and shit. We're
Enjoy.
dealing with the problem. Enjoy. And Adams knew, I believe, from day one, this is bullshit. This is a problem. Why the fuck
100%.
are we doing this? But publicly be like, well, we're a city of immigrants. We're going to let everyone
Yeah,
in.
he's kind of fucked, right?
And then finally he couldn't take it anymore. And he came out and he said, this is bullshit. They indicted him 2 weeks later. And they
I remember that.
They killed
That
his
was
brand.
crazy.
They killed his brand, killed his fucking mayoralship. And now you get Mamdani. It should be fucking Adams doing another term
Sure.
and continuing to clean up the city. And I'm rooting for Mamdani because now he's fucking running the city. I don't have a lot of hope though.
He won. Pretty crazy.
He won.
I really like what's the red beret wearing guy? He's a funny guy.
Curtis Lee.
I met him once briefly. I interviewed
Yeah.
him, and he seems like a genuine character. I haven't really kept up to date on the whole narrative, but he's dedicated his whole life to public
Yes.
service and walking ladies home from
He
from
literally
work.
has, yeah.
Pretty honorable life story, right?
I
A
have
true
to
New
give him
Yorker
that.
as well, right?
Yes.
Maybe he doesn't understand the social media game and how to market as effectively as Mamdani, because you got to give Mamdani credit. He
He's
worked. He
amazing.
worked it, right?
Amazing.
And he didn't take APAC money, which I give him credit for.
Yes.
It is crazy, though. I found an interview of him 9 years ago. His mom's an Indian, I think, Bollywood filmmaker.
Yes.
It all comes
talking-
back to Indians, bro.
Talking with the Urdu accent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now he has none of it. He speaks perfect English. I got to give the guy kudos. I'm like, that is crazy adaptation in such a period of time. But what's even crazier, Julian, what's legitimate about his campaign is he says he's going to tax white neighborhoods heavier and redistribute that wealth in some capacity. There's some legitimate racist element of his campaign against white people, from my understanding.
Mamdani
And I'm not trying to, there's a lot of
wants to tax
white people
white
more.
neighborhoods. More, was this, you're saying this was a...
This is in his campaign
All
spiel.
right, so this is from the New York Post, who,
All right, let's
who
hear it.
doesn't like him, to be fair,
Okay.
but, doesn't mean what they're reporting
I'm pretty sure it
is
was
wrong.
in his actual website at the time is what.
So let's
Okay.
find out. This is from June 2025. Zoran Mamdani doubles down on plan to target whiter neighborhoods with higher taxes and said billionaires shouldn't exist. So this is just Mamdani dubbed the Fidel Castro of New York by one deep-pocketed critic, claimed his soak the rich proposal was not driven by race despite his campaign platform explicitly targeting white homeowners. That is just a description of
Sure.
what we see right now. It's not driven by race. It's more of an assessment of what neighborhoods are being undertaxed versus overtaxed, which again, this goes back to the whole thing you
Yeah.
and I were talking about earlier, where it's like you just define everything as white. A Greek is white, an Italian is white, a fucking...
Yeah, what is a white neighborhood, right?
Yeah, what
It would
even
help
is
to have a
that?
formal classification, I
Right?
agree.
It's,
And everyone has some strain of something now.
yeah.
It'd probably
all
be tough
do.
to find what point are you too brown to be white? Too white to be brown?
So, all right.
I don't know. I don't
Wave
know.
your wand and go forward 4,000 years if we haven't fucking
This is
killed
crazy,
ourselves
yeah.
and we're still
All right.
here. Do
Okay.
we all just look the same? And is life easier that way?
I think we look like an Indian-African hybrid, actually. This is based off of pure speculation and numbers, but I think we look like a combination of an Indian-African. Actually, I think we all look mixed, apparently. We look like a light-skinned African.
Yes.
I think that was what the scientists had predicted.
Yeah, it's like a... What did it look like?
I read
oh
a book,
God.
and the premise was this. It was a guy who time traveled into the future. I read this book when I was like 13. And we all have arched necks. It's like that whole joke image you saw of like a
Yes.
dude with a really big head, like a really
yeah.
thin popsicle stick neck.
Yep.
Like it's a deformed fucker.
Yeah.
And then all of the races have combined because obviously one world order.
And here's the thing, man.
Yeah.
Forget even the one. Pretend
Yeah.
there wasn't a one world
Sure.
order. Okay, and
Yeah.
there might be, and that's dystopian and sucks. But pretend it was like actually free.
Mm-hmm.
This is where that balance comes in. I love cultures. I love that we have different things that we can be like, oh, you do that, and then sometimes you look at something and you're like, you do that, like that, fuck that. But then other times it's
Yeah.
like, wait, you look at Italy, you're like, oh my god, you made pasta like that? Holy shit! You go to
That's
some other
fire.
country, you
Yeah.
make baskets that way? How the fuck did you do?
Sure.
It's the coolest thing ever. That's where it's pure to have cultural sharing and things like that. But when what you've been talking about and what's fair is that at a level of what do we have as values in society? What do we have to function day to day so that we are functional and progress and actually move forward?
Like the loss of a distinct identity in each one of these countries as more and more people migrate.
Sure. And I think that's valid. But, you know, I do want to go back to when you actually went to Epstein Island. Like when you get off the jet ski and you get on there, and people can go watch this video on your channel. We'll have it linked down below. It's wild. Is your heart rate just like jacked? Like
for sure.
Like
for sure.
Holy shit. Like were you worried you're gonna get shot?
We were. Yeah. I was worried we were gonna get arrested, accosted, footage deleted, that sort of thing. But I probably, in hindsight, overestimated the level of fucks they give because they'd already sold the island. I'm sure the information is already, there's no hidden paperwork in the buildings or anything. So, yeah, I was super paranoid. I thought we would get arrested, detained, the whole gambit, right? Lose the footage. Nothing ever happened.
So, yeah, obviously we saw the footage. So
which almost like if you're a concerned citizen of the United States of America, you almost want something to happen to vindicate the idea that there is, in fact, something bigger going on there. So the fact that you can just show up on a jet ski, film as much as you can, and then dip out on a jet ski and go home untouched almost leads you to believe there's really not much going on there or nothing left there.
They got it all gone.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, like you've heard about when they raided his place in New York, there's like guys that killed themselves.
There's one in Miami too, right? One of his apartments in Miami, I think mysteriously got demolished.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, you look up Epstein apartment Miami. I think the whole building was demolished actually.
Miami apartment Epstein building demolished.
I hope this is real.
Developer. Well, I know they demolished his whole Palm Beach mansion. Is that what you're talking about? No. That was totally razed. That's real. The whole ground. Yeah, that's gone.
Okay.
And that's what's coming up. So Jeffrey Epstein's $22 million Palm Beach mansion will be demolished, and it was. This is back in end of 2020.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Yeah, I would imagine that's what I knew about that one. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like. What I don't understand, I had a guy, Mike Yeagley, sitting there recently, twice. The second time he was, at the end of the first conversation, we're talking for like 3 hours, 20 minutes. He's like, man, we didn't even get to Epstein. I'm like, what?
Sure.
And I'm like, what about Epstein? He's like, well, I mean, I tracked phones to his island in 2015, 2016.
Really?
Like, you say that at the beginning of the podcast. You don't wait till, so I'm like, all right, come back. So he came back and we did episode 251 on it. But Mike Yeagley is like a data hacker, and he uses publicly available data. And he actually went to the government with this like 12 years ago and said,
"You guys white hat hacker."
He's like, you guys. It's not even hacking. It's like that's the word you put on it. But he's buying publicly available data and then reading that data to figure out who people are and where they're going. And he went to the government and said, you guys got a fucking problem. So one of the things he just did in his bedroom after the Epstein story like went mainstream in 2019, he said, oh shit, let me see what kind of phones were going there. He was tracking, of course, the bartenders and servers' phones and stuff. And then he was literally tracking Bill Gates' phone completely there.
Bill Gates.
In 2015, 2016.
So the rumor was Bill Gates divorced Melinda Gates, or Melinda Gates divorced Bill Gates due to her speculation that he was involved with Epstein and raping kids, right?
That's correct.
Allegedly.
That's what the report was.
Don't sue Julian. Don't sue me.
Schmill Schmates.
Did you see, by the way, there's a journalist on Twitter. I mean, he's a journalist, but I saw this on Twitter who's getting sued by Kash Patel's girlfriend for implying that she is a honeypot.
Yes.
That's pretty crazy, right? You can't joke around on Twitter without... He's the director of the FBI.
Yeah.
It's his girlfriend suing you for an insane amount of money.
It's Streisand effect, like to a T.
100%.
Like it's very stupid to sue the guy, even if he was saying dumb shit.
Sure,
very stupid.
Well, he's getting sued. So he fled to El Salvador, currently to not get arrested by the feds or something. He's like, I'm currently in El Salvador. They're like, fuck you, you coward, come back. And he's like, I don't want to get taken to jail, basically. So it's interesting, right? Land of the free, home of the brave. Mm-hmm. How free are we? We haven't even talked about like Palantir or any of that stuff. I'm not an expert by any means, but that's interesting, right? Because Palantir was seed funded by the CIA.
And QTEL, yeah.
Crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Palantir theoretically has the ability to get all the information the government wants but can't legally take themselves. The government can outsource that to Palantir. They can extract all that data, and then the government can legally use that information, right?
Yep.
So they've created a backdoor to extract all of our information.
That's right.
That's interesting, right?
It's very interesting.
And
Have you done a video on this yet?
No. We should, though.
Are you going to?
Maybe. It might be beyond my depth. We're just speaking, this is like top of my Twitter feed here. Yeah. But that's interesting, right? That's an interesting development. And they've used that technology apparently to decide which kids are getting bombed in Gaza, I think. Mm-hmm. That's real.
That is real.
Israel. I like what you did there.
Yeah. I mean, the way they would put it is which terrorists are we targeting in Gaza, but we all know how that turned out. But yes.
So it's interesting, too. You can label anyone a terrorist, and then we have the means to kill them without scrutiny.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
It's a post-2001 world, seems like.
And you get a thug shakedown whenever you go through TSA because 9/11, shoe bomber, allegedly.
Allegedly.
What are your thoughts on 9/11?
As in, like, the story we got publicly?
Correct, yeah.
Oh, of course, the story is not what we were told. I do get shit for some of my takes on 9/11 though, and I'm staying open-minded on it. I know, like, Tucker actually just did like an investigation on it that I was watching that was very interesting. What's clear to me is the following: there are other countries that had intelligence that knew something was going to go down, and they didn't share it with us.
Sure,
it was multiple countries, and there was what we have known since the beginning that they couldn't cover up was the fact that there was a huge disagreement between Alex Station at CIA and FBI, and Alex Station big dogged FBI and basically kept them out of the loop, and that directly caused hijackers to fall through the cracks. The layer that it gets to where they're like, okay, therefore
controlled demolition.
The controlled demolition, Building 7, that it looks wrong.
Okay, so
yeah, that looks wrong. Let put that to the side for a second. That's a separate conversation. Just starting at the basics, though, when people talk about like, oh, the CIA 100% did it, I think there are probably people in the U.S. government who knew it was going to happen. I can't prove that, but I probably think there were. The issue with the CIA actually doing this one, though, is that they went on record, like the director and the head of CTC and like Rich Blee went to the White House multiple times in the summer of 2001, July and August, and told them it was coming. So why would the people who are trying to make it happen go do that? Which tells me maybe it was people in the White House that knew. So somebody knew. It's and
then we have the perfect false flag.
The bottom line is it's fucked up, and it's a perfect false flag.
Sure.
Yep, 100%.
And I guess, probably thought of that because Dick Cheney just died. And then I don't know what exact relationship he had with Halliburton, what level of ownership or influence, but
he was the CEO.
The CEO, right? And he's awarding himself defense contracts without bidding, right?
Yes.
So that's fucking crazy. That's legal, right? We can have the vice president of the United States mysteriously involve us as a country in a war with the Osama bin Laden rabbit hole is crazy too, because what the fuck does Osama have to do with Afghanistan?
What do you mean?
I don't even think he's from Afghanistan.
No, he's not.
None
he's
of it
Saudi.
even.
Yeah.
Why are we bombing Afghanistan? Why are we entering Afghanistan?
That one because they were because he was taking refuge there, and the Taliban was protecting him. That's why they did that.
Allegedly. Sure. But anyways, we killed 1 million Afghanis, right? Is that the number? How many Afghanistan?
By the end of the war, I actually don't know the number offhand, but it was
so there's a large number of people. Halliburton's directly benefiting off of this, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So we're in this perma war situation.
More Iraq, to be clear.
Okay, that's fair.
But yes, yeah.
Okay,
point
241. Taken. I'm way off. How many people died in Iraq?
That was a lot.
Okay, I was way off then. We're ambitious with our factoids here. Yeah.
But that's why we're checking it.
Yeah.
The million sounds similar from Iraq. Yeah, that's where you're getting it from. Approximately 186,000 to over 1 million total deaths in Iraq
super
from
broad
03
range.
to 11. It's a broad range.
How do we not have a number on that? That's weird, right?
It is very weird.
So all the stuff we left behind for the Taliban,
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see the video of them sort of playing around with the
Yeah.
technology in the gyms, like kids at a play set?
Yep.
That's crazy, right?
It's crazy.
We went there for questionable motives, blew them the fuck up, killed a bunch of their people, left all our shit behind, dipped. Taliban assumed the power,
That's what
filled the power vacuum.
The fact that they're in control again. It's crazy.
But there's some positive things that have come out of the Taliban. This is controversial. I'm pretty sure they banned the opium trade. So they're super strict on the drug use. Fact check me on this. I think they have these super intense rehab facilities for drug users.
Wow.
But like, yeah, let's see what his fact check says.
They beat the drug use out of you?
I think they did. They also, stripped women of their rights and those important things. But Afghanistan rounded up from the streets into Taliban drug rehab. So they're super strict on the drug trade, and I believe like 90% of the opium supply
93.
comes from Afghanistan.
93. Yep.
The majority of Europe got their opium from Afghanistan.
And East Asia too. Yeah.
So fentanyl is a synthetic alternative, arguably, to the opium.
Yeah.
Where am I going with this? They don't have fentanyl, but maybe they will one day, given that the Afghanistan are now throttling the supply of the opium that they produce.
Right.
But I'm sure it'll just be produced elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, that Europe does not have the same relationship with fentanyl that the United States does. We're getting murked by fentanyl.
It's a reverse opium war from China.
You think so?
Yeah, and obviously they're utilizing the cartels, and there's a lot of moving pieces there. But I mean, that's just my opinion based on a lot of people I've talked to. Doesn't mean I'm right.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of compelling evidence on the Chinese working directly with cartels and utilizing our border to get that into our country.
I'm just reading this. I'm listening to you as well. The result was 99% reduction in the area of opium poppy farming in Taliban controlled areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's what it is.
We haven't really even talked about fentanyl at all.
We haven't, and you've done some work on that. I've seen.
Sure, yeah. Every major city has some degree of people zombified, bent over, dying.
Obviously,
on the streets.
Kensington's the wildest example, but it's happening everywhere.
Everywhere. Just in Providence, Rhode Island. Surprisingly, a lot of people, homeless people, drug addicts, intersection of the two. Strong intersectionality there, for sure. But it's interesting that we even allow fentanyl to exist in the country in the first place. That is not something we can just stop, right? Seems like a very
What do you mean
solvable.
allow it to exist? I mean,
Why
technically
would
we don't allow it, but it's
Well, we
getting
do,
in
though, right?
easily. Yeah.
How hard can it be to prevent the flow of fentanyl into the United States?
We let it get so out of control that now it is really hard.
I don't buy it.
You don't buy it?
No. And what is our relationship with Mexico? So we seem to be cool with them being a narco state, right?
Cool's a strong word.
That seems to be within our power,
Yeah.
the strength of our mighty military, right? That we could probably put a stop to that if we wanted to.
I would think so. Removing some barriers of diplomacy there, yeah.
And Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico, 37 candidates leading up to her were assassinated before she was elected president, I think is the exact number.
Luckiest woman in Mexico.
Isn't that crazy, though? So it's like, how much money is there to be made out of the fentanyl trade is a real question. And the leading cause of death for adults under 40, I believe, is accidental deaths. And one of the largest categories of accidental deaths is opioid overdose deaths. So
I'll tell you where my brain also goes with it, because, of course, this is all relevant right now vis-a-vis the Mexico relationship.
Yeah.
Put that aside for 1 second. How about the fact that a legalized cartel within our country created the demand for this unfettered for over a decade?
You're talking about
Purdue and the Sacklers.
Yes, the Sacklers. That's crazy.
It just that
The overprescription of a lot of these drugs too that's another issue.
it's
Sure.
that way, and they never served a day in prison.
That's crazy.
That's where I go. There's some
Round 'em
powers
up,
that
right?
Yeah, not even just that, but there's some powers that be at hand here, moving some pieces on a chessboard that we're not looking at.
Sure.
That's where my mind does go full, like, you know, Godfather, like Besnavante on a string, like absolutely. Like one thing leads to the other, which leads to the other, which leads to the other, which is where we are now.
Sure.
It is evolution.
So whether it's illegally trafficked into the country or we legalize it and sell it as a pain med, fucked either way.
Yeah.
But obviously no
yeah,
one's
of course.
forcing you to take it, right?
Yeah.
But it's pretty alluring.
I'll tell you
Here's
the-
all of your pain. You have chronic pain.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Sure.
The people I feel horrible for are, you know, someone who's working and they hurt their back or something and they go to a doctor and then the doctor prescribed them like all this shit. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So I broke this wrist 3 times, right?
Doing what?
The last time, first time was on a bike, second time was playing basketball, third time was playing football.
Okay.
So the second time I did it was bad and they were able to reset it.
Okay.
The third time I did it, I needed to get a plate and screws. So I did it when I was a sophomore in college.
Sounds terrible, by the way.
Freshman in college.
Okay.
This was like 2012. So I think I'm like 18 years old.
Sure.
And the college doctor, I go to like because I did it like on campus. So then I went into the doctor who was going to do the surgery and all that. And then they had me go see the college doctor just to like check in on me and stuff like that. I don't even remember it. He prescribed me like 4 months worth of oxycodone or something. No, I didn't take
That
it.
stuff's super addictive,
Oh,
right?
I didn't take any of it.
Okay.
It was a funny story. It sat in my backpack in this little pocket that I forgot about. So when I was in high school once, I used to get bagels at school and I would take the knife from the cafeteria and like, you know, put the cream cheese on my bagel in class and then stick it in my backpack.
It's very Jewish
So
of you, yeah.
I go through TSA one time with my parents, and they're like, "What the fuck? Get over here!" And the fucking
Just my bagel, officer.
And
Yeah.
you know, you see the typical like big fucking TSA lady who looks like she could beat the shit out of you,
Yeah.
and she's pulling knives out of my backpack. I'm like,
What?
"Oh shit! I'm sorry. Those are my bagel knives," and they let me go because they realized I was just and not a
knives.
terrorist.
Yeah.
But like, you know, probably white privilege or whatever you want to call it, if you will. But so I go
He's
to
Italian.
go.
He's not white.
Exactly. I go through TSA
Yeah.
a few years later. This is like 4 months after I break my wrist. I never took any of that oxycodone, but I forgot I had it.
Okay.
So before we get to TSA, I'm with my mom. She goes, "Any surprises in your backpack?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think so." And I go through the pockets. I'm like, and all the oxycodone had been like thrown around and fallen out. So it was just pure powder.
Sure.
And I never took it, but I'm like, I could have taken all that. I could have been addicted to
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah, you might have
Percocets
been
at
fucked.
age 19 and be dead now or on the side of a road somewhere with no life. And I never asked for it. I never wanted it. I wasn't particularly in pain. I didn't say, "Give me fucking pain meds, doc." But that's how easily they were giving that shit out. So the people that reverberate from that, I feel really bad for.
Yeah, because you're kind of just hooked for life.
Yeah.
Like, think of these coal miners in Appalachia.
Yes.
Appalachia. You said it the right way. Appalachia, not Appalachia.
Yeah.
Think of these guys, burly dudes, working their ass off in the mines, hurting their body, chronic pain. What's going to save them? Booze or oxy, right? Or maybe both.
Maybe both.
How many options do you have, right, to cure that chronic pain?
Not a lot if you go to a doctor, apparently.
Apparently nothing, right? Besides
Yeah.
some fucking magical drug we invented
That's
within
right.
the last century you got to take or you're going to be in crippling pain for the rest of your life.
That's right.
So maybe the guys before them were just slamming booze, just drinking alcohol at home after work, and that was the cure-all back then.
I don't know, man, but it's something did change there. And now, like,
Sure.
so like you said, you've been going to all these cities, though, where you just see people who are, and it's not even like a joke of a term, they're literally zombies. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
people
just sit there and
will
take
hear
it all
that term
day.
and think it's a slur or a pejorative.
It's not. It's very
By any
real.
means, it's not. And what's sad about all of it, too, is the popular perspective on drug addicts, particularly people on fentanyl, bent over in this zombified state was the way to solve this is to give them some foil, give them some needles. That's what they call harm reduction, right? Better that they do it cleanly
Right.
so they prevent the spread of AIDS and STDs and all this stuff. And then if they want to come into rehab, when they're ready, let's bring them into rehab. Well, lo and behold, a lot of these people die before they end up in rehab. So this conception of compassion is let's help these people do drugs safely, even though there's really is there really a safe way to do fentanyl? Arguably, there is not.
No, I don't think there is.
But we're going to help them use fentanyl safely. We're going to give them Narcan to revive themselves. If you talk to these people, a common question I'll ask them is, how many times have you died? I need no lead up to that. Every time they'll give me a number. Every time. And it's often greater than 1. Sometimes 5, 10, 20. Crazy numbers. These people have died multiple times, brought back to life by Narcan.
Yep.
Well, I drove up here along the East Coast. It says, always have naloxone, Narcan. Billboards promoting Narcan. So our approach to this has been harm reduction, give you this almost like a video game tool, an instant revive.
Yeah.
Rather than let's revise our conception of compassion and maybe, I don't know, put a stronger, heavier pressure on getting these people off the streets, taking the drugs out of their hands, maybe even controversially forcing them into some form of detox if we really want to save their lives. So it's like we value this bodily autonomy over their actual lives. And
Yeah, I think you have a point there on that last one about like
is
forcible
compassion allowing them to kill
detox.
themselves slowly and surely?
Yeah,
That's weird, right?